The word extraterrestrial rarely brings comfort. Instead, it stirs emotions like unease, fear, and even outright terror. What would really happen if aliens made contact with humanity? Hollywood often feeds us visions of catastrophic invasions, painting aliens as destroyers of worlds. It's no surprise many people worry about an impending alien invasion. However, not everyone shares this view. Some believe aliens are silent guardians, watching over us and preventing disasters like nuclear war. Interestingly, UFO sightings often cluster around nuclear facilities, such as the recent green UFO seen near Chennai, India, home to the Madras Atomic Power Station. Yet, for every theory about aliens preserving peace, there are just as many stories of darker intentions, abductions, vanishings, and even mysterious aircraft disappearances. Among these chilling accounts is the story of a U.S. military plane that disappeared without a trace, leaving many to wonder if extraterrestrial forces were involved.
StarXtreme.
There are multiple instances of alien abductions, but none have ever been proven true due to lack of any physical evidence. But the most famous abduction till date is the Barney and Betty Hill incident of 1961. The couple was driving through the White Mountains of New Hampshire late at night. As they traveled along a lonely road, they noticed a mysterious light in the sky that appeared to be following them. By the time they reached their home in Portsmouth at dawn, they felt unclean, their watches had stopped, and Betty's dress was torn. Strangely, 2 hours of their journey were a complete blank in their memories. Neither of them had an answer. But after undergoing hypnosis, they reached a conclusion that they were abducted by gray beings who wanted to conduct experiments on them, but let them go after realizing they were too old. Sadly, the passengers of a U.S. military plane were not as lucky as Barney and Betty Hill. On January 26, 1950, the Douglas C54 D Skymaster vanished while flying from Alaska to Montana, carrying 44 people. The plane made its final radio transmission 2 hours into its scheduled 8-hour flight. Despite an extensive rescue mission involving both Canadian and U.S. military forces, no trace of the aircraft has ever been found. Some believe that the Douglas C54D was abducted by aliens, and to add credibility to this eerie theory, this disappearance occurred in the Alaskan Triangle, an infamous stretch of land where thousands of airplanes and people have gone missing forever. And the U.S. military plane that vanished that day in 1950 just added to that list. Locals believe that extraterrestrials are to be blamed for all the disappearances in that notorious graveyard. The Alaskan Triangle stretches from Juneau in the south to Anchorage in the middle and to Utqiagvik, formerly known as Barrow, at the most northern point in Alaska. Planes randomly crash in this area and even disappear, as in the case of the Douglas C54D, implying that there is indeed a supernatural force at play that's causing all these mishaps. In addition, close to 16,000 people have gone missing in the Alaskan Triangle since the 1980s. What evil entity is causing the disappearance of all these innocent people? But going back to the Douglas C54D incident, which took place somewhere in January in 1950. The plane took off from the Elmendorf Air Force Base and was headed towards Montana. It was a clear, sunny day, so definitely bad weather can't be blamed for the disappearance. Just as it passed over Yukon territory, the U.S. Air Force lost all radio contact with the plane. Post this tragedy, the United States and Canadian military forces teamed up, and a total of 7,000 military personnel scanned a total area of 350,000 square miles to find the wreckage of the Douglas C54D. But sadly, they couldn't find a thing, and it continues to remain a mystery after almost 75 years. Later on, we will talk about a psychic by the name of Patrick Price, who, through a technique called remote viewing, was able to see aliens working out of a secret base in a mountain in Alaska. and conspiracy theorists believe that it was these aliens who actually abducted the plane that fateful day. But how can such a huge plane be captured without the obvious way of actually shooting it down? Some UFO hunters believe the use of a superior alien technology, called a tractor beam, was employed in this case. Supposedly, this powerful beam, once projected onto an object, irrespective of its size, renders the object immovable and can attract the object back to itself with ease. Similar tractor beams have been shown in Hollywood movies to depict human abductions where humans and even cattle are picked right from the ground without any visible means of contact. So to sum it all up, conspiracy theorists believe that the Douglas C54 D must have gotten too close to the alien base in the mountain in Alaska, and hence, for their safety, the aliens abducted the military airplane with the help of the potent tractor beam. But what happened to those 44 passengers will always remain a mystery. What do you guys think exactly happened to the Douglas C54 D? But for now, let's now deep dive into that remote alien base in Alaska. In December 2023, the UAP Disclosure Act came into effect. As per this law, the U.S. government will collect all data of UAP sightings and disclose them to the public within 25 years. This further solidified the belief of UFO and alien hunters that the U.S. government is definitely hiding something from them. And this is not the first time that the U.S. government has been dragged into such a controversy. Many actually believe that Area 51 in Nevada, USA is actually a secret military base where alien spaceships and even some extraterrestrials are kept in containment for research purposes. Similarly, there is also a theory of the U.S. government working in close contact with extraterrestrials somewhere in Alaska. Surprisingly, Alaska is also ill-famed for innumerable UFO sightings. And the hotspot for this strange phenomena is called the Alaskan Triangle. The Alaskan Triangle is the area between Anchorage, Juneau, and Barrow, Alaska, which is along the border between Canada and the state of Alaska. The Alaskan Triangle has been compared to the notorious Bermuda Triangle that is infamous for the mysterious disappearance of ships and airplanes over many centuries, seemingly without any logical explanation. Within the Alaska Triangle lies Mount Hayes, which is the highest mountain in the U.S. state of Alaska, and also the area in doubt for the U.S. government alien conspiracy theory. UFO sightings are reported with great frequency when it comes to Mount Hayes. Residents in the area have reported sightings of UFOs, flying saucers, and strange lights in the area around Mount Hayes. Some even believe that there is a secret alien base within the mountain, as most of the UFOs are said to disappear without any trace in the sky, implying that there might be a portal through which the UFOs enter within the mountain. And for the longest time, eyewitness testimony was the only evidence to prove that Mount Hayes was a UFO hotspot. That until 1995, when declassified documents revealed that Mount Hayes was mentioned in a very top-secret government project. The project was named Stargate. Stargate was supposedly a project carried out by the CIA. And in these declassified documents, it was clearly reported that Mount Hayes was an extraterrestrial underground base. And if this information was startling, then the manner in which these details were obtained will be even more shocking. Going back to the CIA's top-secret project Stargate, the alien base information was supposedly disclosed by an experimental investigation technique that was used in the project. This technique is known as remote viewing and was used extensively during the Cold War with the Soviet Union. It is a psychic projection technique where the remote viewer, aka the psychic, is made to sit in one location and can look into a different place anywhere on Earth, purely by the power of their mind. Project Stargate's main purpose was to use such psychic spies to find crucial information about the Soviet Union's plans. And the most famous remote viewer from the project was a man named Patrick Price, who was a former police officer. Price was the psychic who reported the alien base in Mount Hayes during one of his remote viewing sessions. He vividly described what he saw, and it shocked everyone in the CIA. He said that while remote viewing Mount Hayes, he saw that there were structures existing beneath the mountain. Tunnels, tubes, pathways, corridors, an entire proper research facility within the mountain. And on deeper investigation, he even saw geographical instrumentation and lots of computers and scientific equipment. But what stunned him right in his chair was seeing extraterrestrials working alongside military personnel at that remote mountain base. And in a shocking turn of events, post that remote viewing session, Patrick Price mysteriously passed away after a few days. Is Price's death in some way a cover-up by the US government, as they were afraid that he would disclose this information publicly? Was he just another whistleblower who was silenced before he could reveal some top-secret information? And do you think that extraterrestrials are still operating out of that mountain base in Alaska? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest revelations in space exploration. Hit the bell icon to stay updated, and let's continue to explore together.